Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
It gives you these two workers side by side. Is it easy to compare now? Right. So now you are looking at this. And you see that the base pay for Jonathan Kelly is in Munich in Germany. It's 69,000 euros. And Lloyd Richardson is in Chicago. He's $121,440. Now you see that in the grade it says below segment 1, and this is segment 2. So what does this tell you about the way these two people are paid? Below segment 1 and S2. Remember when we did compensation, we had the paid in segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5 pay their segments. And what information does that give us? A grade gives you the pay range. Correct. Now, what does a segment tell you? If it's true, and can we have two segments? We have. Can we have only 3, 4, and 5 segments? Oh yeah. What does this what? What does it mean if it says S2 or maybe below segment 1? What was those pay rates? What were those pay rates? It divided the entire page into some smaller parts, right? So we call those parts as segments. Correct. So what information does it give you? If I tell you that somebody's in S2, what does that mean? So let me give you an example. Let's say there are 4 segments. I call it S1, S2, S3 and S4. S1 being the lowest, S4 being the highest. Okay. So now there'll be what is S2? S2 in the second level, like the middle level of. Yes, but does that mean? Medium. Is it below the median, above the median, below the midpoint, or above the midpoint? Below the midpoint. It's below the midpoint. So what? So now, what does it mean? That this person is making less than average. Yeah, right. That is what it means. Less than average. So the average is a midpoint. If this person is S2, that means S1, S2, S3, and S4. There are 4 segments. So now we are comparing. So if I have 2 workers, one is below segment 1, one is S2. Now, what do you understand by this? Below segment 1 means what? Compensation is even below the pay range, right? Below segment 1 is even below the segment 1 starting level. And what about S2? So this amount comes being the S2 segment. That is below. That is still below the midpoint, because S3 and S4 will be above the midpoint, right? So just when looking at this, I can tell that this guy is underpaid. This Lloyd Richardson is underpaid. And what about Jonathan Kelly? Is he underpaid or overpaid? It's underpaid. Yeah, grossly is strictly underpaid. So Jonathan Kelly might be very unhappy. So we have to take care of him. Anyway, so these two just been looking at this. We can tell whether he's underpaid or overpaid. We have the amount €69,000. But how do we understand if the 69,000 euros is good or bad? So you look at the pay range segment, and then you can decide, okay, how does this compare in terms of his peers or other people in this particular compensation grade? But anyway, you see here that this report, the Fine Workers Report, what does it do? It allows you to filter on certain criteria, and you are able to narrow it down to a certain group of workers. There's another standard report for this expertise. Find them. Okay, expertise find here it is. So here you see, expertise finder. Again, this report is very similar to what we saw before, but the filter criteria is different, right? Because now it is mostly focused on experience and job profile and language and performance, right? So why? So let's look at exceeds expectations. So we have, oh my god, two of our favorites, right? Logan McLean and Teresa Serrano. So they have exceeded expectations. So you can select two, and you can add them to a talent pool. Okay, so you can. So this report doesn't allow you to compare, but the Find Workers does. But Expertise Finder, our whole objective is to find people with a certain expertise, right? So this is again standard report, but this is these kind of reports. We call them as the search kind of report. Now let me show you another one. Loss impact by retention. I want you to take a look at this. I hope we have some data here, because otherwise it will be very bad. Oh, not shown 279. Why not? Okay, let me select everything. Not shown. 139, not shown. Let me select everything. Okay. Yeah, for some reason this report is not behaving as it should be, but anyway, if you just look at this particular report, what does this report tell you? Okay, you see, on the horizontal axis, you have retention risk, and on this vertical axis, you have loss impact. So the horizontal axis says how likely an employee is to leave the organization. How likely is an employee to leave the organization, and the loss impact says what will happen if the employee leaves. So what about Logan McNeil? Here is Logan. So what can you tell about Logan? Is Logan leaving? Is Logan at a high chance of leaving the organization? If she leaves, it will be a huge loss, but is she going to leave? Now, she's going to leave now. No, 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 right. As of now. As of now, she's at a very low risk of leaving the organization, right? So, as of now, she's at a low risk. But what about that person here, Tebra Wilson? What about Tebra? High chance of leaving, and what will happen if she leaves? I don't know. I'm lost. Huge loss, right? Huge loss if this person leaves. So what should we do as a manager? Let's say I am a manager and I'm looking at this report. What should I do? I don't take immediate action on Tebra, right? I have to talk to her. I have to see, okay, what is the concern? And then maybe I can. I have to give her a raise, or maybe some interesting or challenging works and good assignments. Right? I have to make sure that she stays in the organization. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be a huge loss to to lose Tebra.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@upptalk.com.